So I says to him, Talon 4D's nuts! He didn't laugh either. Let's start this game. Metroid Prime Remastered, everybody. It's like the GameCube version, except it looks prettier. Also, it's got, like, concept art and stuff that you can get. Also, slight asterisk, it's more like the later versions of things. It's more like the Wii version and everything. Yeah, it was the Wii version. That was the other one. Right. Oh, yeah. Now we can game like people who know how to play a video game. This is like the only video game I know how to play. And in fact, even that might be a bit of a stretch. There is an alternate control scheme in this. Actually, let's go pop in the controls here. So, we got a pointer control scheme for motion controls if you want to relive the Wii days, which I don't. I don't have that kind of space to begin with. We got the hybrid mode, which, again, uses motion controls for aiming. No space. I can't do that right now. Classic controls. This is more like what I'm used to, but I haven't actually tried this. Instead, what I worked with was the dual stick mode. This seems to be the default. In fact, if we press X to go to default, yeah, it goes straight to the dual stick mode. It doesn't let us tweak any of the other control options in here yet, unfortunately. But, so that ended up giving me a little bit of, like, muscle memory issues and stuff when I was playing the game, but I think I'll be fine for running through this in hard mode. We can take a look at the extras menu real quick so you can get a look at what kind of stuff we're getting here. We can actually go and listen to any part of the soundtrack we want here. There's a lot of nice music here. Oh, yeah. Lovely remix from Super Metroid. Oh, this guy's a pain in the butt. We'll find out more about that when we get further into the game. I do love me a good sound test. We got some of these nice little, you know, speaking of Smash Brothers, they kind of look like Smash Brothers trophies from Melee, and I think actually like every Smash game between then and Ultimate, I have not played Brawl whatsoever. And the little bit of Smash 4 that I played was when I was hanging out with a friend who was running events for Smash 4 Wii U at a game store that he worked at. That game store went out of business many years ago. Way before the pandemic. It's not related to that. We can get a look at some of this stuff. We can get a little bit of grossness from our injured space pirates here. Ooh, I see somebody's been having a bit of a... Oh, no, it's a little more than a calisthenics injury. Parasites. Oh, I think they're running away with one of my missiles. Damn it. Can't have that. I have no idea what that is, actually. The Parasite Queen. We'll be seeing that. Freaky looking space beetle. Wasps. Yeah, that looks like an asshole to me. The incinerator drone. Nice early boss. The hive mecha. Oh, you can see this thing, like, all of it's neat. The plated beetle. Here's, like, our first mini-boss of sorts. Flagra. Ooh, Flagra's a bit of a pain for most people. The Geemer. Yeah, you remember the old wall crawlers from the old Metroid games, right? Well, they're back in 3D form. Chozo Ghosts. A Chozo Ghost. Yeah, that was real smart. Baby Sheegoth. That name's a little bit close to Shoggoth, and you can tell that they've kind of got the look. They're just ice. And that's what a big one looks like. Angrier. The Thardus. Yeah, I mentioned that as being a daunting battle, but we'll check that out later. A Mega Turret. Oh, fuck these things. Our friend, the Space Pirate. And the Troopers. Oh, boy. Yeah, some of these guys are pretty nasty. We'll check out what they're about later, obviously. An Elite Pirate. Ooh, check out that laser cannon. The Omega Pirate. Ooh, this is a fun and tough boss. Shadow Pirate. Oh, I like how it's like half cloaked. That's pretty good. That's a good choice. The Flying Pirate. Also, still showing the particles for its boosters, despite this being like a figurine. An Aqua Pirate. I think we find these in one room in the game. I better remember to scan that. Phazon Elite. Another complete one-off that's in kind of a weird position in general overall. Wow, that arm looks nasty. I've never gotten a good look at this thing's like anatomy and everything. Oh god, don't cross your legs in the chair. There's like no space at this desk for that. But look at how slim this... It looks really fucked up. Meta Ridley, the boy of all time, the champion. It's him, all right. And we got a couple of these fucked up jellyfish-looking dudes. Oh god, fission Metroids. I encountered those way earlier in my playthrough than I remember seeing them in the OG, so that's gonna be fun. Got a Hunter Metroid here. Pretty gross. And there it is, the title creature itself, Metroid Prime. And here's what's inside of it, a big brain full of energy. And down here in the concept gallery, well, we're not going to delve too much into this, but you can get a look at some concept art from this, you can tell. You can see that we haven't unlocked everything. That's because when I did my playthrough, I didn't get all the scans. I got all the items, I did not get all the scans. Because I screwed up at one that's kind of Bush League, and I will discuss it when we get there. But also we can see some new stuff for the remaster. Because, yes, the visuals in the remaster are more than a little bit tweaked, actually. Like, some stuff genuinely looks a fair bit different. Oh, that's cool. And they've added in quite a bit of things to prevent you from sequence breaking. Which makes me a little bit sad, but I suppose that a lot of the sequence breaks that I'm used to from this game weren't going to work in the first place. Just by virtue of the fact that, like, the big one is getting early Ice Beam, and that involves you climbing a spider track without Spider Ball. And it was, like, a weird, tiny little collision detection thing that they would be really stupid to not fix. But let's get into it, folks. Despite not having full scans, it does say that my first file is 100% complete. What a load of bullshit. Let's get into hard mode here. And hopefully not get completely murdered. Yeah, we got some new loading screens. This is, like, probably the most new visuals that are added compared to the original. Also, a thing you might notice, the sound is not updated, which I'm actually fine with. I'm so glad they didn't go back and, like, remix the hell out of all these tracks to be like, oh, hey, it's got to fit with the sound of games from the Switch era. Fuck no. Metroid Prime's soundtrack is honestly just one of the... Well, Metroid Prime's everything is one of the best in the entire history of the GameCube. Like, Metroid Prime 1 is an easy top 3 game on the GameCube. Very likely top 1. I actually would be hard-pressed to be able to name anything else that could fairly compete with it offhand. And that's even with having, like, a lot of favorites that are kind of flawed. Like, we just did PSO recently, and I love that game, but obviously... that's not going to be the sort of game that I think everybody's going to get on board with. Not in the same way. They're not going to mark out for it the way I do, if you will. Meanwhile, this game, absolutely... Metroid Prime 1 is genuinely just super, super good. Which makes what happened with Prime 2 all the more depressing. Oh yeah. It's that time again, folks. That familiar jingle. Yeah. Now you know, we're in flavor country. Right stick to aim. It makes things a little bit easier to aim at high targets than before. Left stick moves around. B button to jump, or the L button. The ZL is our lock-on. ZR shoots. There's something interesting about shooting in this game that I'll... well, there I go. I just demonstrated it. So, charging up takes a bit longer to start. You do that sort of 3-round burst whenever you start charging. It's fewer shots for the other beams. Obviously, the point of the plasma beam is that it shoots really fast. But yes, that is something that kind of slows down your ability to just mash charge shots into things. And it's annoying most of the time, but it does have its useful implications in simplifying certain fights. The Y button turns us into the Morph Ball. Pressing X while we're in Morph Ball mode lets us use the Spring Ball. This is an addition from, I want to say, Metroid Prime Trilogy, and it is much appreciated. This actually simplifies a couple of puzzles in terms of how stressful they are. We'll check out controls for that in a second. ZL to lock on, ZR to shoot, and the X button, you hold down the X button to switch between whether the D-pad controls your visor or your beams. And you can see a little bit of a reticle down there, but we don't have any more beams to switch between. And R is our missiles. As you can see, that activates those switches, even though we totally don't need to do that. We can use regular shots. Now, how do you get around in this world, like, at all? You use the scan visor, basically. This is how you interact with things. So anytime you need to, like, press a switch in a way like this, if you need to interact with any of these tablets or whatever, you gotta scan them. In fact, I would just recommend, if you are not an experienced player, scan everything. And in fact, even if you are, scan everything that might have some use to you. Also, it says to press the button to go back to the scan visor. You can also press the shoot button. You can't shoot while you're scanning. And to scan, we may as well, yeah, R does it too. L jumps. ZL is our lock-on button. So that is what we use to scan. Yeah, I feel like I'm explaining things badly. Alright. So in the Morph Ball, we can roll around with this button. We can press R or our other shoot button to lay a bomb. We have to get that as an ability, though, but that's thinking about later. And that's all we can do as the Morph Ball for the time being. Like, yeah, if you scan this stuff, you get a bunch of interesting lore. It's just, it really helps you get immersed, and it can often give you some very important information. Not to mention the fact that you go through here and you look at that and it tells the game to use the airlock. High levels of radiation detected. We probably shouldn't touch that thing then. I mean, it's on fire too, so that would be a smart idea. Ooh, yeah. So, we got a parasite here. Interstellar vermin. They travel in swarms. I'll actually try to show off as many of the logbooks as possible. It'll pad things out a little bit, but I think it'll be interesting. It may even teach you a thing or two, who knows. Indigenous to Talon 4, a single parasite is harmless to larger life forms. However, they tend to travel in large groups, swarming over potential prey. Such swarms can be dangerous. Yes, you see them in big crowds, and they'll hurt you if you let them. What do you got here? Dead Space Pirate. Pleasant. We won't be able to get a real logbook entry for the Space Pirates for a while. Evacuation occurred 6 hours prior to our arrival. Biohazardous materials, Phazon Badge 009A, destination. Yeah, I'm not going to scan everything, because again, you know, I've played enough of this game to have a reasonable idea as to where the important scans are. Also, I take back what I said earlier. I'm not going to show every single scan. Tried getting into the beam, failed at the grapple beam part. The one in this area? Because, yeah, the grapple beam can be a little bit jank. It's true. And yeah, that just tells us all the escape pods have been launched. Gotcha. Yeah. That can be a bit of a time sink. So, yeah. All right, we're going to want to roll up. And this right here, this is a very important scan to grab as soon as possible. Because you only find a limited number of these map stations in the game. And once you use them, the hologram disappears and you cannot scan them anymore. So if you're out here going for 100% logbook, you should get this right now. Good. Downloaded the map for this area. Hell yeah. Press plus to access the map. When you're finished, press plus again to resume play. And it is at a slightly odd angle. But, you know, familiar idea to what we've all seen before. Yeah, FF7 doesn't really have the greatest of prologue areas. The game doesn't really teach you a whole lot of anything. I feel like a lot of Final Fantasy games are just kind of like that in general, too. Not the hardest series of RPGs, but definitely the early ones are like, well, what's going on? Things definitely got better by 10, though. I remember that. So here's how we activate an elevator. We just scan the thing, as you are already well aware. I think the games in general just kind of weren't great at tutorials for a very long time. Because, you know, the assumption is, oh yeah, you'll have the manual, won't you? Which you may very well not. Yeah, the problem is I don't really remember a whole lot of what those were like, so I can't really comment on them. But yeah, 10 explained stuff to like basically throughout the entire game, so there was a lot to... It was a little never-ending feeling, but yeah. Yeah, fire missiles with R. That's one way to handle these dudes. By the way, missile canceling, for those of you who are aware of missile canceling does actually kind of work in this game, but not as well as it used to. Maybe I shouldn't fuck around with that, but, you know, just to demo that it is sort of real. This is a log that I feel like a lot of people miss. This is the missing pirate data that you will not be able to easily get hold of. You can't get this if you fail to get it during this part of the game. Oh, yeah. We can also disable the auto turrets, which is quite nice. And once the auto turrets are off, we can just take advantage, get some free items. Usually, however, the scan panels for the auto turrets are in kind of awkward places. They really don't give you a whole lot of space to strafe there, do they? Also, I forgot to mention, press the minus button in order to get you into your menu. There's a lot of useful information that you'll want to read in a lot of these. For example, I'm going to pop open the Morph Ball Bomb entry here real quick. And make a note of one very useful thing here. It says the Morph Ball Bomb can break items made of sandstone or telluric alloy. That's information that'll pop up in scans to suggest to you what item you have to use to break it while still kind of maintaining a bit of lore friendliness. I have a feeling that some people would look at that and be like, you know, I really wish it would actually tell you how to do it. It does tell you how to do it. You just have to actually look in the menu. You know, speaking of tutorials, really, that with a lot of games, people are just like, oh, well, they really over-tutorialize things, and then they don't use the fucking tutorials. But putting that aside, yeah, Final Fantasy games, yeah, 7, I haven't played 7 in many years, so I don't really remember a whole lot about what that one's like, but yeah. Is this going to tell me to... Oh, no, that's not disable the turrets. That's to open the door. Please insert metallic sphere to open door, and there you go. I don't know why the space pirates necessarily are out here like, oh yeah, you need a ball and chain to open this thing, but that's the level we're working at here. Space pirate technology, everybody. Makes total sense if you never ever think about it. And yes, that is a very useful tip that it gave us. The charge beam can be used to draw in pickups. That is something that is completely new for this game. It didn't appear in the 2D games ever again. This is a save station, by the way, but man, that tractor beam effect on the charge beam is so useful. Anyway, we're gonna save. Not because I'm worried or anything. Although, who knows? I may not necessarily, because I'm eating a lot of goober hits. But also, hitting a save station refills your energy, which is unique to the Prime games, as far as I know. I don't seem to remember it being a thing in any of the later ones, so... That's cool. That's a very helpful thing, actually. Yeah, I would say that 10 just kind of gives you the resources you need to be able to put things together. And it gives you sensor weapons early on, so you can pick up more information to help you out and all that. And well, generally, 10 is just a really good... 10 is probably one of the easiest RPGs to get into in a lot of ways. And the simplest to grok, and just a great starter game in general, and a great RPG in general. Here we've got our first boss, by the way. This is the Parasite Queen. You can see it's even throwing up a health bar immediately. Make sure you scan it, because it's a boss, and it is a logbook entry. Oh god, I'm so fucking that up. Oh, missile's low, you don't say. That little bit of me being a clown earlier didn't help matters, huh? And that angle, the angle on the sort of rotating cell thing here. Yeah, while it's spinning, let's see if we can get in a few free hits here. Let's see, it knows what's up too. It's counterattacking in kind. And there you go, your first boss. Nice and easy. But yeah, this is a pretty good tutorial area, I would say. This teaches you a lot of stuff. Well, I mean, it's a lot of stuff you're not going to use for a while. Spoiler alert, but still.
Evacuate immediately. Evacuate.
You still get 3 hearts. Nice.
Evacuate immediately.
And now it's time to race. We have to get the hell out of here. And believe you me, this game is going to do some stuff to try to slow us down. Most of it's not going to work super well, but hey. Yeah, the less we have to deal with those, the better. Oh yes, the one that's still writhing around is deceased. Yeah, okay, game. Don't worry, there aren't any vital scans in this area. We've gotten the big one. There may be some pretty mean design aspects in this game, but that's not one of them. Retro aren't quite that level of dickbags. In fact, in general, I would say that by Metroid standards, Metroid Prime is an incredibly easy game. Probably why I put it on hard. Yeah, these are just regular parasites. We've already scanned one of these. I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, remember to scan the pickups. Oh, I should have actually fully scanned it. Well, we'll get it. We'll see more purple health. And these hatches are like doors, so make sure you shoot them. They are not a scan though, so don't worry about that. Where are we? Sometimes it's good to just get in the morph ball just to get a better perspective on where you are. Yeah, you can tell the space pirates were experimenting very heavily on these things. Okay, no, that's on a timer, I think, not a number of shots. Oh boy, I just wasted a missile for nothing. It's okay. We're not going to get to keep those for too long, spoiler alert. We kill those two things. Oh, door, please. It's about how well doors work when I'm using them in real life. Oh yeah, this is the one. This one has a big piston in it for some reason. I think just that way they can give you more things to waste your time with. Because that's what you do when you're making a timed section like this. You just put in a bunch of frivolous, goofy shit to waste people's time. Oh hey, look, a cutscene. Speaking of frivolous, goofy shit to waste people's time. There he is, everybody. It's Meta Ridley. Ah, so that's what happened when Samus used her most powerful wrestling move. The, I'm trying to piece together a joke here. I should have come prepared a little bit. The diffusion beam. There we go. We'll say that. That's what happened when she used her most powerful wrestling hold, the diffusion beam, on him. And we get just punched in the face by this explosion. Like, it just rushes us like it's Unzan or something. Unzen, I don't remember the cloud guy's name. And it disables, like, all of our equipment. We don't have a charge beam anymore. We don't have missiles. We don't have a ball. We don't have our grapple beam. We don't have our Varia suit. At least we keep our scan visor. And airlocks do the airlock thing. And we are safe, everybody. Just like in the baseballs. That's right, baseball is now plural for some reason. And yeah, let's go ahead and save, because the game is prompting us to. We may as well. And here we are, on the surface of Talon 4, with almost nothing to our name. At least we've got access to a cool spaceship. You can return to your ship to recharge energy, reload weapons, and save progress in the game. Very nice. You got anything to say about this rock here? No, that's just a stray scan mark, apparently. Am I not close enough? There we go. There's a small tunnel burrowed into this wall. Yes, indeed. And normally we'd be able to go in there. But right now, we can't. Actually, wait a second. Is that a... That might be a place we can't go, actually. Huh. Let's grab this scan for the tangleweed real quick. Missile expansion. Neat. Unfortunately, we have no ball. So we're a little bit stuck in terms of doing anything with that. We can explore this chamber a little bit, and we will find a lot more places where the game is just like, yeah, actually, here's a bunch of future possibilities. But for the time being, you can't do a whole lot. We can go over here, though. And get a little bit of a preview of an area here. And have some very awkward to get at energy pickups, but there we go. And here, oh, this place looks interesting. Oh, hi, cutscene. I forgot that there's a cutscene over the entrance to the impact crater. I think maybe they should probably wait a little bit to give that to you, just to sort of make it a little bit more of a mysterious thing. And there's a pirate data. And we get some research about this blast shield. We don't have a missile yet, so we can't do anything with that. Let's take a look at this. Field team reports are in on an aged structure of alien design built on the surface of Talon 4. Studies show this structure projects a containment field. This field bars access to a prime source of energy within a deep crater. Science team believes the field is powered by a number of strange Chozo artifacts. We have found some of these relics, and studies on them have begun, as this field could hinder future energy production operations on Talon 4. We must dismantle it as soon as possible. If this means the destruction of the Chozo artifacts, it will be done. Well, that gives you a little bit of a hint as to a future goal of yours, but for now, our goal is to be able to actually gain the ability to do stuff. So here's a fun fact. Back when I was in university, I was in a media criticism class, and I ended up writing a whole paper about this game. In fact, it may have been my final paper, defending the idea of Metroid Prime as being a transcendentalist narrative. In this case, you know, referring to the transcendentalism movement of the 19th century, I believe it was, which was very, very heavily in this sort of back to nature idea. And you might think, well, how do you do something with that? And it was grounded very heavily in this idea of Samus as a scavenger who collects things from the environment that she's in and scavenges technology together from former civilizations, i.e. from the Chozo and all this other stuff, leaning very heavily on the idea that this planet is borderline abandoned, and pointing to the space pirates as the more technological civilization, industrialization, there we go, that's the term I'm looking for, industrialization, because they were far more high-powered. They're basically running sort of an energy... I hesitate to say energy company because that's not really the most accurate description for that. But it's an energy production operation. You know, think of it like oil on some level. In fact, I think that could be a very fair comparison to make on a serious level of how the Space Pirates Phazon energy system is at least somewhat based on the idea of petroleum and the energy industry surrounding that. I think I got a pretty good grade on that paper, but I don't remember. I just remember that I wrote it. I at least think that the instructor, there we go. I at least think that the professor bought that I had some semblance of an idea. Keep in mind that this was a very long time ago, so of course I don't remember a whole lot of the details there. But I remember enough to say, well, at least he didn't fail me for it. At least he didn't think I was going too far afield. But, you know, interpreting media is a very interesting thing because it's very possible for two very different people to derive very different meaning from one very identical to each other that they've experienced work. I got a little too into the varies there. And as you will see, this elevator does not crash anything, thank goodness. Oh, nice. I'm not good at doing anything like that. That's, you know, no prep. I also remember that I had a queer history class. Here's what the hint system looks like. I'll talk about this in a moment. Seismic activity detected. That's not very helpful, but basically, if the game tells you to go to a place, you go to that place. Because if it's not going to be helpful any other time, well, take it when it comes, right? So, I had a queer history class with the resident film guy at the university. Like, he was the instructor was the guy who did all the film studies stuff. And I ended up, I think I wrote part of my final paper was dealing with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7, Steel Ball Run. Because a lot of it was like 19th century American history, so it also kind of fit thematically. So, hey, I got to write some fun papers in university is basically what I'm trying to say. Don't go into uni expecting to enter a computer science degree and enjoy it unless you don't find joy in anything. That's a little mean. So there's plenty of this area that we can explore. Oh, hey. Yeah, you don't say. That's an interesting thing that's up there. We're going to break off from the main path for a second in order to go and find a couple more scans.
Recorded to logbook.
A war wasp hive. Oh, yeah, just what we need. Wasp nests. Wakey, wakey. Oh, God, I hate wasp nests. I hate wasps in general. Little assholes. And these are scarabs. These are basically... These are pretty much parasites, but they hurt more. And they explode a little bit. If you just try to rush headlong through a crowd of scarabs, it will hurt you quite a bit. I think I heard one of them buzzing around. Oh no, that's... Huh. Surprised by the overall lack of wasps right now. That's... actually completely acceptable, but still. Alright, here we go. We got another crowd of scarabs to clean up. We got... Yeah, we checked out the small energy earlier. This is an ion, I believe it's pronounced. Yeah, ion. So, dealing with these, just shoot them and they close for a little bit. We can't destroy them until we get the charge beam, because they are vulnerable to a charge beam shot. Which means that once I'm able to do that, I'll be moving through those areas a little bit more slowly. Ah, yeah, we scanned the people already. You scan enough stuff in this game that sometimes I just forget that we've scanned certain things. Ah, I knew I heard you bastards out here. War wasps. Yep, they've... A venomous stinger capable of shearing steel. Jesus Christ, that's fucked up. They take a not inconsiderable amount of shots. Kill. Although I think part of that may be a consequence of playing on hard mode. But, that's alright. Ah, yes, the water in here is toxic. Do not touch the water. It's... Well, I guess toxic is the wrong word. It's acid. Acidic. Because we're in power armor. If it was toxic, it probably shouldn't affect us. But, whatever. Both of them are represented as green in a lot of these things, so... Here we got a plasmite. This is very similar to the fire flea from Super Metroid. However, they only darken an area a little bit. Also, I forgot that you could just shoot them briefly and stun them. Again, that's probably just a hard mode thing, because you can tell it's been a minute since I played this. This will be our large energy capsule. This is worth 20 units of energy. It's much nicer than everything being just a 10-point X parasite you have to pick up, like in Fusion. Worn but functional. Can we scan that thing up there? Life forms detected within hollows of machine. That should give you a little bit of a nervousness. And they're putting a very pointed note on, hey, cross the bridge in order to get that. Because the bridge retracts, and here we go. Here is our first real boss fight of the game. Parasite Queen was just a warm-up, but now the room is full of acid water, and we have the Hive Mecha. And don't forget to scan these wasps too, because they are a unique species. These are ram war wasps. They circle and then they attack. And you can see what a horrendous problem they can be. Wow, okay, when did we last save? Was that at the ship? You can get just absolutely geeked by those things immediately, because if you get shoved into the water, first of all, your physics are messed up. And second of all, you're taking that much acid damage that fast. There's a save point much closer to there. Wow, alright. That was brutal. The game really just told me to eat shit. Like, hey, stop goofing off and explaining this 20-year-old game to people. They can look it up on Game FAQs if they don't know anything about it. Game FAQs powered by fandom. Fucking hell. It actually kind of annoys me because I still use Game FAQs fairly regularly to find information, because hey, it's just written word guides. You know, sometimes you get screenshots and stuff with it, but instead of me having to go through somebody's video walkthrough if I need to go look something up, which I hate, I can just go and read it and, you know, hash it out for myself after reading it. I mean, I guess there's probably not a whole lot of hashing out to be done after you read it, but still. Also, yeah, saying everything else. I'm probably not going to say a whole lot for a couple minutes here because I got to get back to where I was. But the scans from the ow, I stepped on another blast cap. Wow, there's a lot of these things around. Who would have known? The scans for the hive totem, hive mecha. I think it was originally called the hive totem, and then they changed it to the hive mecha because of some reason or another. I.e., probably not wanting to upset people, but the scans for the hive mecha and for the ram wasps are in fact unique scans. You cannot get them anywhere else. So again, if you're going for 100% scans, you get those, or you just restart, basically. For some reason, when I was younger, I was not convinced that those counted, because I guess they just didn't work properly. Whatever the reason is, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll answer the codec real quick. Thanks, game. I should probably turn those off. And I say that every time I play this game because I've played this game a lot. Just yeah. Okay, no reason to go the one way. Oh, that was pretty good. That was almost like speedrun worthy smoothness there. I could probably have just taken those hits, really. Realistically. Oh yeah, we got the save station earlier when we were on the ship. Right. Right. Oh, jeez, I need to not do this leg cross thing, but here I am, doing it anyway. Clearly what I need is just, like, not even, like, a regular chair, just, like, a big raised platform that's about half the height of my desk that extends all the way from the desk over to the bed, and it's just, like, that way I can sit cross-legged. Let's have, like, a mini table to sit on. I just didn't want those dudes interfering. Alright, we should now be caught back up to where we were when we died. Aside from the things from the boss, obviously. But we're getting there. Alright, so I'm going to wait to scan the ruin until... Well, actually, never mind. I guess I'll just do it now. And yeah, this one, no real health meter here, but it's fairly simple what to do in this fight. And there's sound cues that you can pick up for these jackass wasps to be able to figure out when to jump, dodge, etc. You'll notice that jumping is not the most effective way of dodging, but it does seem to work sometimes. Just 3 waves of bugs, and you're done. So, yeah, that fight is real easy, provided you don't get knocked into the acid. Because if you get knocked into the acid, that's it. You're dead. You. And hey, look at that. Short time in, and we've recovered the missile launcher. Oh, yeah. We already know how that works. That doesn't update the scan on the blast shield, as you can see. Pick up some energy, which we don't really need, but we need this. An energy tank. Oh, yes. 100 more health. That is doubling our capacity for now. Now let's grab ourselves a little bit of missile ammunition to restock. What's up with this pipe in the back, huh? Leads behind the wall. Width of the opening is approximately 1 meter in diameter. We'll come back to that sometime later. Alright, now we go back across. Some rocks fall. Don't worry, this isn't a case where everybody dies. And we go back across the way, and... yeah, we all know how this part works. Probably. Oh, phew, I'm glad there was dry land there. Okay, so now that we've got the missiles, we can do a couple of useful things. And the first one is going to be opening that door. And whenever you do something that unlocks a secret, you get that nice little jingle. And in that case, what that's doing for us is giving us a map station. Oh, yeah. Nice. Love to know where I'm going. And as you can see, the Chozo has had quite a big chunk of stuff for us to explore. And we are going to be checking out all of it eventually, I'm sure. God, those things hurt real bad. Where are you? Jerk. Alright. So, we scan this wall. Stress points present in Brimstone Wall. A concussive blast may shatter it. Well, that is fairly direct. Hit it with a missile. But again, if you want to check what materials the missile is capable of breaking, press minus. Secondary items, missile launcher. Can destroy objects made from radion or brimstone. I don't think there's anything marked as radion in this game. I think that's just a thing in Prime 2. But I haven't played Prime 2 in a while, probably because Prime 2 is not that good. I feel like that's an opinion that might upset some people, and I'm not just continuing to say it more and more because of that, but I genuinely... I do not like Prime 2 very much. It's not a good game, in my opinion. It has a lot of questionable design elements. Another cool thing we can do now that we have the missiles. Blow up wasp nests. I'm always in favor of that. Sadly, they regenerate when you leave the room. But otherwise, hey. Done its job for the moment, hadn't it? We go in here, and we save. I'm pretty sure we don't have anything that we need to worry about on quite the same level as what we just dealt with for a bit. Because that was a fairly unique situation of a thing being able to basically one-shot us, but... just in case. Yeah, you can see the damage from those scarabs adding up, and they blend into the dark surroundings very easily. My finger joints are giving me the biz, probably because I've been playing it. This is my second time playing this game in a row without doing anything. You know, no other games in between, so my body is probably like, hey, yeah, that's the thing you want to do the thing with. You fool. Fool of a toque. Alright. Well, we're full up. That's the important part, because we're going into this room. And oh, hey, there's our morph ball. Oh. You're not going to let us have it. How pleasant. Instead, we had a fuck ton of beetles. Like, they just give you quite the swarm here. And once you get that shaking, here comes the big dude. Here we go. We got the plated beetle. Now, this is actually a scan you can get later because you'll fight more of them at some point. But for the time being, you may as well, right? Bit of a bullfight going on here. Wait for it to charge and get behind it. You can see it went down without too much problem, although 30 damage on hard mode, that is pretty big for this point in the game. Make sure you got that energy tank. And oh yeah, we get our old friend, the Morph Ball. No longer called the Morphing Ball. Oh, okay, so we can't spring ball until we get the bombs. Interesting. I didn't realize that, but I didn't know we had the spring ball when I first played through like half the game. By like half the game, I mean like half of this area, so that's a bit of a stretch. So with that done, it's time to go and descend further into the ruins in order to see if we can do something about this acid water. However, it is going to be a bit of a lengthy quest to get there. Also, yeah, there's a grapple point over there, but we can't scan it right now for the logbook. Also, I see the wasps are out and pissed off right now. Another Chozo lore for us. Again, there is a ton of flavor text in this game, but most of it is fairly ignorable, and it's much more world building than it is like an in-depth plot, at least by this game. There's later games that will adjust the balance a little bit. Oh yeah, I gotta remember to scan the Shriek Bats next time I see them. We got a Reaper Vine over here. Oh, what's it gonna do? Is it gonna forget to prep its harvest ability like I always do when I play Reaper in 14? Oh. Analysis suggests the presence of a runic symbol here. What kind of analysis is involved in finding the presence of a runic symbol? Like, other than just fucking look? Oh, we shoot that nasty looking red tangleweed. And we scan it and it activates. That's a puzzle that we'll deal with later on. I just wanted to shoot the crates and see if they had any energy pickups. Because I don't like not being at full. Especially not in this area, because this is a very easy place to get knocked into the acid water. And that will just tear your ass up. Body temperature peaks at 121 degrees centigrade. That's pretty, that's fairly significant. Also, the use of the word centigrade instead of Celsius. I appreciate that in a scientific perspective because I think that it's a good, like, technical sounding term. Obviously, it indicates, hey, 100 degrees between boiling and Between boiling and freezing. There we go. I somehow could not remember that word. Clearly, it was because I was blocking it out because I was thinking of a terrible series. I'll leave it there. And we will talk on it no more. I wouldn't want to upset anybody else by reminding them of it. Another missile pack for us? Hell yeah. Resupply our missiles. Almost fall in the acid. Pop the thing open and... So this room, we have to scan all of these 4 runes in order to open this gateway up here. Scan. It's number 2. There's number 3. I knew we had missed one of them. Didn't 100% remember where. This thing down and open this. And the disc in the middle with the fire axe turned around. Don't scan the thing down there. Don't ruin the surprise. Unlock the gate. Well, we can scan the Chozo lore at least. That's cool. And we get ourselves... the charge beam. Yes. Oh, yeah. I love the charge beam. And of course, as soon as we do that, all the ions in the room just open up and... yeah, technically I think you can get away with not having the charge beam until much later in the game. If you're incredibly silly and you just don't want to have the charge beam for some reason, I believe you can do that. I wouldn't recommend it. Charge beam makes a lot of fights much easier. But you can. Oh, hey, there's Tapatio J getting on that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I still don't have Mario Kart 8, but I'm terrible at Mario Kart games. Maybe someday I'll remember to pick it up. I think they added some neat stuff recently in some of the Mario Kart 8 add-ons. Okay, yeah, we can't really go that way, but... duly noted. Let's go ahead and save... just because we do have a boss battle coming up fairly soon. And we may as well just be on the safe side, right? There's a ton of bosses like all in a row here. The density on them is pretty high. It's not going to be such a thing in the future. Also, wow, that explosion damage was huge. That's like a Pokemon using explosion. Levels of explosion. Wow, I fucked that up real good. Alright. Back here. Up, up. Don't try to get fancy and climb this yet. Not unless you have the space jump, which is later. Similarly, we could probably try to do that, but I'm just going to take the morph ball tunnel here. And there is a thing that we could get up there if we had the space jump, but we don't. I think there's some other ways that you can use to, like, trick your way up there. Possibly you can do a double bomb jump. In fact, we'll probably try that out once we get the bombs, which is very soon. And those guys can just do their thing. And careful of the acid water. Oh, hey, you. Here we've got a stone toad. This is one of my favorite enemies in the game. Honestly, I just love that it's called a stone toad. It's a good name. Hey, dude. It does not give a shit. I also love the fact that it's apparently completely indestructible from the outside. And it just doesn't care about anything. What a bro. Alright, here we are. We've got the big freaking wasp hive, because of course we do. And it's the incinerator drone. It can be a little hard to tell sometimes which direction you gotta go to dodge its fires. But after we do some damage to it, it's going to actually, primary barbed wire wasp hive. Anyway, yeah, make sure you get these, because these are another unique scan. Anyway, as you can see, the incinerator drone, its arm starts tipping after this point, which generally makes it much easier to dodge its flames. It actually gives you a nice wide arc for you to dodge inside of, because you can just stay at the very back and you can walk underneath it. But in order to make up for that, we got more jerk wasps, and these ones shoot at you. Oh, fuck. Get off me. Ow. That didn't go great. You can see that it kind of went into its sort of guard stance a little bit while I was right on top of it. That is something... I've probably had that happen to me before. But it's not exactly a common occurrence, we'll put it that way. And that was extremely rude of the game. Pick up our things. And let's grab ourselves the morph ball bombs. Navigation tool extraordinaire. Morph ball bomb acquired. What's it still warning me about? Probably the acid in the water underneath the floor. We can bomb this little bit at the back, and there is a missile tank here. Nice. Hell yeah. Alright, and back out we go. And you can see I am going to be putting that spring ball to great use, because, oh boy, it is helpful. It is very helpful. We'll put it that way. Alright, now we go pay our visit to Mr. Stone Toad. And pop him open. Scan the morph ball slot. Yeah, this is This is one of the major puzzle-solving elements used for the Morph Ball. Is you just jump into these, and you set off a bomb, and that's kind of like a switch for some reason. I guess because the bombs have that sort of electric effect to them, so maybe they technically count as like an electric thing. Slightly annoying sounding timer. They don't give you a real clock for any of this stuff. But, you know, that's kind of like a Zelda game, basically. Actually, I guess in a lot of ways, Metroid Prime really does owe a lot of itself to the 3D Zelda games that came before it. In a lot of ways. It's just that it's a far better game, in my opinion. Don't at me. I think it's a better game than... Well, it's definitely a better game than OOT. It's kind of on a similar level to Majora's Mask. Yeah, I would say probably it's a better game than Majora's Mask. But also a large part of its similarity to Majora's Mask has very much to do with the heavy atmosphere involved in it. Majora's Mask obviously is a fine game, but man, it has a great bit of atmosphere just in general. Alright, so this way, that's the way we came. No, that's not. Over here. Oh, am I stupid? Yeah, this is the way we came. It's just the way we came the other way. Anyway. Let's go over here. Yeah, it's true. Much better lit hallway, so they're not going to give us any of those dudes. Also, yeah, just to show it off real quick. Yeah, the sequence break does not work for getting to the ice beam area early. They fixed it. Which, good on them, but also, that makes me sad. Actually going through the Space Pirate area without the ice beam kind of sucks. The one in Phendrana, I mean. Excuse me, because that's the only one where you would be ice beamless in the normal game. So now that we've done all this, we could actually just go and finish the area. We could go take on Flagra if we wanted to, which is a major boss of the zone, and go get our Varia suit and carry on. But in addition to 100% scans, I also would like to get 100% items in this playthrough. I mean, I did it before, but I like this game enough that I feel it's kind of owed that a little bit. Okay, it looks... Can we not double bomb jump up there? Yeah, it looks like we can't. Well, that sucks. Huh, I guess we really do have to come back with the space jump. Anyway, I was really hoping we'd be able to get that missile expansion, but yeah, I'm gonna get everything that's available to me at this point. And we're going to really load up and be able to just go obliterate the fuck out of Flagra. Because there... I think we can get, like, another 6 or something missile packs before we go fight Flagra. And an energy tank. And yes, we are going to go back to the Talon overworld and grab the stuff that's over there, too. It does count. Nice. Now, there is another item in this room. I don't think we can actually get into a position where we can see it, but we can't get to it right now anyway because there's that magnet track in the way. And by in the way, I mean that's the only way up there. When I said in the way, I guess I meant is the way. Wait, what? Yeah, that kind of works. If you don't pay too much attention to grammar. Alright, so we're back here. And this, I'm just trying to hash out what we have available to us right now. Well, we've got acid, there's plenty of that. And yeah, anything to... Well, nothing really to say for the moment until we actually get to a place where we can get a thing. Which we're gonna get something in here. There is an item that is hidden away in the wall of this room. And it's not just me taking like 90 damage from that crowd of those guys. I told you, they can really mess you up. Another missile pack. It's fun to watch them get stuck in the tunnel. But they're coming after me. That's right, single file, boys. Single file. And no, that thing in the wall is nothing, it's just a detail. There's more stuff to do in the morph ball room, but we can't deal with it right now. That's gonna need us to come back way later in the game. And now to go get more items, we have to go back to the path to the Hive Totem. Wait, no, the Hive... Wait, is Hive Totem the name of the... Think of it. Okay, yeah, Hive Totem is the name of the room. It's always been called the Hive Mecha, then. I've just been calling it the wrong thing forever. Huh. Well, today I learned that I'm a fool. Oh, yeah, here's another place for the morph ball. The spring ball, pardon me, is going to help us out. curious if we can, like, just sort of do a curved jump to get around that, but not quite. Regardless, there is a free missile pack over here for the taking now that we've got the bombs. And there's some stuff we can get in here that we've been able to get basically for as long as we've had the ball. But I figured, why not just do all that at once? Because most of it's not super helpful. Yeah, like here's a missile pack. I mean, that's great and all, but we got the charge beam. We're going to end up probably in a position with a lot of fights where we're going to be using the charge beam for more of our DPS anyway. Because we're mostly going to be using it to just toast smaller targets. And the missiles are more of an exploratory tool, which is kind of how it always goes in Metroid games. Is that a large part of your arsenal really is just used to explore. Which, for the record, I like. And in here we get a bit of a side-scrolling area. Sort of a throwback to the old 2D stuff. Hey, at least we had some 2D Metroid in this new 3D era. These little morph ball rooms. Oh, hey, another elevator. Where does this go? Magmore Caverns North. That sounds like a place where we probably shouldn't go right now, because that's sounding like that'll get us set on fire. So we're going to go in here real quick, and we're going to scan this red thing. This cordite wall hanging appears to be slightly cracked. We cannot deal with anything made of cordite right now. And calling it cordite is a very strange choice, because for those of you who are unaware, cordite in real life is the name of an old propellant for bullets. I don't think that would be very durable. I mean, this isn't Enter the Gungeon. If this was Enter the Gungeon, it might make sense. In fact, it would be really funny in Enter the Gungeon. But in Metroid, it's kind of strange. A strange choice indeed. Oops. Stand up. Ball. And away we go. Alright, so this is the vault room. In here we've got, I think it's just a missile pack in storage here. But this is the first area where they want you to do a double bomb jump. However, we're not here to play their games. Not like that, anyway. So we're going to use the spring ball in order to basically take any bit of time, well, just to adjust the timing. It doesn't really make anything easier or harder, at least not here. There is a place where it absolutely is going to ease things quite a bit, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Missile get. And back out here. Grab ourselves an energy tank. Okay. So we've gotten everything that we can get in Chozo Ruins for the moment without just going after the boss. So what do we do in a situation like that? We backtrack. That's right, there is still a good amount of stuff for us to go get back on the Talon overworld. And then we'll come back and we will deal with that boss. I may not comb over everything in such a fine-tooth manner in the future, but for now, we may as well, right? Let's pick up everything while we can. While it's nice and easy. Okay, yeah, I think we still have the Brinstar remix here. Yeah. Because there is another track that plays here, and it's really good. A blood flower. You can easily kill these things by shooting their poison orb back at them, which generally is going to one-shot them. But of course, with the spores, the spore sacks, that makes things even easier because they are highly explosive, and you get a bit of a chain reaction going. Now here we are in Root Cave. This is an area that you might be a little bit curious about, like, right away, just because, hey, there's another branch you could possibly have gone in. It's just as well that they don't open it up to you, because it's another access to Magmor down this way, and you don't need that this early on. Especially because I'm pretty sure this really throws you into the thick of the dangerous shit. But we get to come down here, and we pick ourselves up another missile pack. So that's always good. And with that in mind, you probably remember another one we can get at without too much difficulty, and that's back at our ship. So why don't we go do that after we clean up these beetles, obviously, that are currently just spawn camping us. Okay, so here's this. There was another tunnel over there that suggested it was morph ball size. I don't think it is, but we may as well go take a quick little bit of an investigation over there. Yeah, see, it's right. Oh, no, we can go in here. That's right. Oh, right. This drops out to the water area. Right. We can't do anything over here, but we can look. Also, by the way, no, there is not a map station for the Talon Overworld, but you might have been able to guess that. Before we go, let's go and revisit the Artifact Temple and start our artifact collecting journey. Because, hey, we can do that right now. The game doesn't really put any sort of check on that other than making sure you have the missile launcher. It's just kind of like, you might be curious about this by the time you get here. By the time you come back to this area, rather, normally. You get the space jump boots. But otherwise, nothing really checks this. Also, yeah, it always takes a while to load that room, even on the GameCube. And it's just as well taking a long time to load here, which this version, I don't know why I said it like that. This version's load times are better, usually. And hey, look, free artifact! Ta-da! Such a great little tune. The Artifact of Truth, the first of 12. Scan the totems here for clues on the locations of the remaining artifacts. Together, they will open a way to the impact crater. Eventually. We don't have to worry about that for some time. And yeah, if you check these out, they will give you a little bit of information. It says the Artifact of Truth has been returned. Not all of these, I think, are going to be active yet. Yeah, because they don't really activate until later in the game, some of them. However, for the time being, we can get information on where quite a few of these artifacts are. So that's nice. Oh, hey, a sun chamber. We saw that mentioned earlier. So that's going to be a place that we have to return to after we fight the boss there. Interesting. Helpful to know, I think. Oh, it is helpful to know. Right. Stop getting caught on the corner there, me. But we've done, like, all we can do for the time being. So let's go back. We're going to wait to save until we get closer to where that boss is located. Because for now, we kind of... We'll be fine to get back to a place that's safe there, basically, is what I'm saying. We have enough health that we should be able to tank a decent chunk of the game for the moment. One second, I got a horrible knot in my hair. Give that a good wash. Not a great thing to say on stream, but I'm sure that I have better hygiene than at least a non-zero proportion of streamers. We'll say that. I'll do that after I stream. Even though it'll be like 2 in the morning. Whatever. Whoever is in the area will get over it, I'm sure. Hello? Oh, I was just fucking that up. Just playing badly as usual. Nasty blue bug guts, and... Right, by the way, we haven't explored that room because that way leads to something that we can't actually do anything with at the moment. In fact, the room at the end of the hallway over there is too hot for us to handle without the Varia suit. And even then, we need the grapple beam back in order to be able to traverse it. So that's going to be a bit of an issue for a moment, to say the least. Oh, hey. Alright. Now we go back to this big room here, and we start out cleaning these dudes real quick. And now we have to activate the 4 runes in this room. Again, familiar mechanic. Just scan the 4 runes as before. Although as we go higher and higher, we're going to get attacked by more and more of these jackass bee wasps. Not a bad idea to destroy their nests when you can. After all, we are awash in missiles. We don't really need to worry about, like, not having enough resources or anything like that. Our 3rd rune is right here. And this, we can find out, this is venom weed. This is like the tangleweed. It slows us down, but it also does poison damage to us. Acid damage, poison damage. The game basically treats the idea of acid and poison as being the same. And there it is, the 4th rune right up at the top. And that should open the gateway for us immediately. We don't even have to rescan this thing. Yep. And that leads us to a path that is blocked by the need of a bomb. Which, at this point, I don't know why they need to show us that. We already needed a bomb to get in there to begin with. Crack the door open. And you see, as we get closer to the toxin source, we've got more of these toxic venom weeds to deal with. Alright, open the door. And here we go. This boss, this one is frustrating for a number of reasons. It's a pain on your first time through because it's a puzzle boss, and also it's a pain because you have to remember to grab 2 scans here. You've got to scan the big boss itself, and you got to scan its floor tentacles. They both count as separate entities. Hurry up and scan. There we go. Alright, Flagra. We should scan this mirror, too, just to get the idea. Use to focus sunlight on the creature. It looks like it can be tilted, possibly to take it offline. Something, a joke here. Also, yeah, the music is fixed. In the original GameCube version, the loop on this broke for some reason. Now, as you can see, we're not going to do a whole lot of damage to this thing through the ordinary sources of damage. Instead, we just stun it by doing that. And once we knock it down, we reveal morph bomb slots. So instead of doing regular damage to this thing, we have to stun it 4 times in order, well, remove its light sources 4 times, but we really want to stun it in between those in order to prevent it from being able to reset them, because it can do that. Strafe as fast as we can. Alright, that's 2 out of 4. We're doing good. I'm pretty sure that the trick for missile canceling, by the way, is to hit the R and ZR at the same time. And that should get us what we need to see. It doesn't seem to be perfect, that's for sure. If those could fade out, that would be great. Take the long route here. I think these are timed. So what we're doing there is a bit foolish, maybe, but we got away with it. And here we go. We got to get all 4 this time. Alright, so in order to help us out here, we're going to set ourselves up at a good starting point here. There we go. We just barely managed to get that last one out while Flagra unstunned, and there we go. 4 hits, that's all you need. Nice, efficiently fought boss. And the water is purified somehow by just killing this plant. Well, alright then. You'll see that the other door didn't unseal. However, check this out. Is that the screw attack, everybody? Absolutely not. That doesn't exist in this game. That's right, folks. We got our Varia suit back. Oh, yeah. Nice. Now, just like in most Metroid games, the Varia suit protects us from the effects of dangerous heat. And also, it increases our defense. I believe in this game, it's like a plus 10% defense boost. Yeah, it doesn't tell us exactly how much, but I believe in this game it's plus 10%, and the gravity suit is 20, and then the Phazon suit is 40 or something like that. Maybe 30. Either way, it is a lot weaker than it was in Super Metroid, or even in Metroid Fusion. But that's okay. Oh, I forgot to scan the ultra-large energy before I picked it up. Oh well, we'll see more of those eventually. And we've got this thing, a Pulse Bombu. We can't do anything with this. Invulnerable to most known weapons. Electrical energy can harm them, however. They lack an intelligence beyond an instinctive attraction to other charged energy sources. So, yeah, if you charge up your beam, they will come to you. Do not do that near them unless you're prepared to kill. That can create some problems in certain areas of the game that we will see later on. With the Variasuit in tow, we can go and visit Magmore Caverns, and it will all be safe. You know, with certain definitions of safe in mind. Also, yeah, you take a bit of a stun when you take a long fall with your regular body. If you change into the Morph Ball, you do not take that sort of falling, air quotes, damage. So if you're taking a long fall with that, it might be a better idea to just switch into the Morph Ball in order to ease things a little bit for you. Ah, yes, I see we've got some new monsters to go with this new area, as you would expect. And this is a... Excuse me. Pardon me. This is a Grisby. Carapace can be breached by missiles. Yeah, they put that very directly for you. You just fire a missile, and that's how you kill them. Let me scan for any information about... No, we can't scan for any information about the fire jets. However, you can freeze them with the ice beam once we get that. And this is a burrower. This thing is really annoying. However, they can be handled much more easily by using the bombs. So that's great. And here we are. We are in a very dangerous place indeed, Magmore Caverns. And that great music. Oh, that music is really good. And this is a Magmore, a fire-breathing serpent that dwells in lava. I think 3 missiles or charge shots will take it down, which is pretty beefy, actually. It's going to take even more, because... Yeah. They're quite stout, so it's better to just ignore them if you can. Meanwhile, Puffer, that's much harder to ignore. They're full of corrosive gas. So you gotta stay away from them when they die. And also, for a little bit afterwards, too, because they leave a nice green cloud there. Not taking my own advice there and ignoring that dude. Oops. And yeah, these are bombable walls. These were added at some point. And again, I think it's just to prevent you from, like, sequence breaking and being like, oh, hey, I don't need the bombs. I can skip that somehow. It's not the... No, it's the other pillar, isn't it? I think it is. I'm going to go back. You can smash one of these 2 pillars, and it has an artifact in it. And it's a very tough jump to make. But we can do it at this point. There we go. Alright. Time to bank all the health on this. Oh, that turned out to be quite easy. And there we go. That is the artifact of nature. See, we're like 2 hours in and we've already got 2 artifacts. We are way ahead of the expected curve. I told you I know this game. I'd say none of you trusted me, but you've all seen me play randomizers of this. Well, possibly. Those are up on my Stream Archive YouTube channel, so... Evidence is out there. Ah, yes, the Triclops. Deal with these. These are mostly just a threat when you're in a morph ball. To deal with them, you just plant a bomb in front of them, and eventually they'll suck it up and they'll get exploded. However, I'll get hit by one in order to show you what they do while we're in this room. Again, just to add a little something to things, because, yeah, there's an area we can go to where we can deal with them. They make interesting noises. Getting in there is going to be a little rough. There we go. Alright, come on, grab me, dude. And they pick you up. And they take you usually somewhere pretty inconvenient, and they eject you out with great force. There's a couple of rooms where you have Triclopses that can throw you into lava. And that ain't great. You can try to make things a little bit easier by mashing buttons, and sometimes they will relent a little bit and they will let you go early. I think for less damage, but I don't have complete confidence in that because the numbers that I took there look like it is not reduced damage. Regardless, crack these crates. Get our health back. Go in here and get a missile pack. Getting us up to 60 already. And in fact, there is another one that we can get in the in this room. It's called the Triclops Pit, which is funny because that's completely a thing you can ignore. But the game really expects you to have the X-ray visor to get it. Ouch! 41 damage from a puffer blowing up not even that close to us. You can see those things are nasty. Anyway, I forget which of these pillars you can break, but I think you can break it with just a regular missile. There we go. Yeah, see? There's an invisible platform that will help you get to that. If I knew where it was, that would make things a lot easier for me. However, I think our shots even go through those, so... Or we may have to approach from the other side. But yeah, they really want you to have the X-ray visor to do that. Yeah, I think our shots will just go through any of them, fortunately. So that's not going to be on the cards right now because I haven't memorized where the platforms are. That actually is a case where having like a video guide would be a useful thing. But again, that's the sort of thing that I would expect would be more of like, oh, if you're doing a speed run or specifically a sequence break oriented gameplay playthrough, that you would need something like that, which, again, video-based guides to that kind of stuff are already kind of the norm. Meanwhile, just general purpose guides would really rather have text or text and images where images are useful. Like, for example, for the rune puzzle in Omicron, where they give you a bunch of symbols that are, like, completely impossible to describe with regular person words or ASCII art. That's a place where you would really want some screenshots, which, again, it's a good thing that Game FAQs incorporated that a couple of years ago, but... you know, who even uses that website, right? Everything's on fucking YouTube nowadays. And that's why the video guides are so popular, even though I hate them. Oh well, I'm not the only person in the world or something, I don't know. Fuck, we fell in the lava. I was trying to not take damage from the turret, and then I fell in the lava, and I took damage from that. And I'm continuing to take damage from that. There we go. There's some safe land. Dry land. Is it dry? Is lava wet? That seems like a weird thing to ask, but like... Listen. It's a liquid. That is a defining characteristic of lava is that it's molten stone. Therefore, it is a fluid. But is that all you need to be wet? Okay, so this room, this is our little transport tunnel to an elevator. And this room has a lot of puzzles that revolve around doing the double bomb jump. As you can tell, the spring ball makes this a lot lower stress because look at all these ways that we can drop and lose progress or possibly even fall in lava, potentially causing us to die to get this energy tank. So, yeah, the spring ball rules. Anybody who's complaining about it, you're a sucker. And by that I mean you just kind of suck as a person. And here we are in Phendrana Drifts. This is an ice area, as you can tell. If this was Metroid Fusion, we would need the Varia suit to explore this place too, but of course, this area is kind of walled behind Magmore Caverns. I think there's only 2 elevators here, and both of them... Yeah, both of them require you to... Both of them go to Magmore Caverns. So... Of course, you would have that to begin with. Yeah, we can break that open, and... Oh, hey, that... We didn't even have to ball up there. Here we've got crystallites. These things are, once again, something you take out with the missiles. Pretty easy enemy. You can kill them with the plasma beam if you have that, but we don't. So, yeah. Don't worry about that. That's just a thing that is in the background for the time being. Now these fast-moving fellas, these are called flicker bats, I think. The only way to track them reliably is with X-ray imaging, which, to be fair, you probably won't have to even bother because they're a minor obstacle at best in a very few rooms. And over here we've got another one of these things, a scatter bamboo. I couldn't remember what it was called because scatter is a strange word to use as the descriptor there. I would have thought like revolving or something. And here we go. Here's our baby Sheegoth. And it wakes up and it shoots an ice ball at us. Unsurprisingly, the weak point is the area that's covered in ice, and you want to hit that with your heaviest ordnance you can. And they breathe ice breath at you, and it can freeze you. Which is a fairly unique thing for this game, really. Relative to other Metroid games, anyway. Once you crack the ice shell, they're pretty easy to kill. Like, they have, like, 1 health after that. And again, the plasma beam will do wonders against them. But that's a thing we don't have to even think about for a bit. We won't get it this stream. We might not even get it in the next one. Oh! The reflected shots can hurt you. I didn't know that. Okay, this is not the area where we need to find a Chozo lore. And yeah, we can't blow open this ice with missiles, but we can use fire to do it. I'm not sure why the hard ice here is immune to missiles, but not to heat. I would think that the missiles would pack enough heat just from their burst. You know, just the massive imparting of kinetic energy that it would cause at least some sort of effect. But again, I'm not really a physics expert or anything. And again, that's not even talking about the gunpowder that they appear to be loaded with. Being that they are, you know, explosive missiles. Be able to tell. Now, you can tell really easily from these dudes, but these are ice burrowers as opposed to the regular ones that we saw in Magmore. Remember to scan them. They are a unique scan. There's actually quite a few unique scans of variants of monsters here. And several of them are completely missable. And yeah, you can see the ice burrowers kind of mess us up a little bit. Fortunately, this room, they're just giving us more pulse bomb boosts, so nothing to get easy kills for energy recovery. Also, they shit bombs everywhere, and they do a pretty good amount of damage with that. To be fair, we got 3 full energy tanks. I probably shouldn't be too worried. But it doesn't hurt to be safe, you know? Remember to scan this stalactite. There aren't a whole lot of them in the game. But it will tell you, hey, you can knock some of them down with missiles. This one, I don't think we have a good angle to do it from, though, because that is part of the second phase of the room. You can see the purple door up there. I don't know how well we're going to be able to get a good shot on there, but... yeah, door can't be opened with that. Can't be opened with a rocket. So we're definitely going to have to come back here. I think there's a Chozo lore in here. Is there not? Have I done fucked up here? I goof. I bet I done goofed. And here we go, some ice shriek bats. This is one of the, like, 2 times you get to actually scan them, I think. So, do it now. Scatter boy, dodge that thing. Strange to see them, like, outside of those tunnels. What odd placement. Right, that's too far away to scan. Ah, yes, here's a Chozo lore, but there's another one in this area that I believe I've forgotten. At the very least, those are, like, permanent things and not missable. So we got that going for it. I think so. The other device is going to be too far away. Platform realignment successful. Here we go. That sets us up a nice... Sets up us, rather, I guess. Sorry, I've got Zero Wing brain because I discovered that there's a version of Zero Wing on Steam now for, like, less than $10 US. Which is kind of wild to me. That there's somebody who was like, oh, hey, Zero Wing was actually a really good game. And not just a meme factory. We should put this on Steam. At least I'm assuming that they did it for reasons of it being, like, a really good game, because it's $9 as opposed to, like, $2. But we got ourselves the boost ball. Hold the L or the B button to charge up the ball, and you let go, and you get a boost. Unfortunately, getting back is going to be a bit of a pain without using this, so let me demonstrate what the boost ball is primarily used for. Skateboarding! That's right, you go up and down the half pipes, and that's how you get to new heights. Of course, the one behind me is causing problems. I don't care about your ice balls. A lot of balls in this game. Which is a very silly sentence for some reason. Oh, there's the Chozo lore. I see it now. You'll always be able to tell it from those sort of, like, fogged out sandstone walls. Maybe your visor is, like, just trying to run the translation program, and it does that. Gotta update that Google Translate app a little bit here, Samus. Got the weirdest... The weirdest form factor on her smartphone, I tell you what. Oh, hey. He survived, too. Oh, that Meta Ridley. We don't gotta worry about him for a bit, though, so... No big deal, I assure you, despite appearances. Alright, so with that done, we can now go all the way back to our ship and go explore that little half-pipe area that was out in front of the Chozo ruins. And there's a couple more things that we can check in the Chozo Ruins now that we have this thing. And by a couple more, I think I mean just like one. No, there's two. Pardon me. There's two. Yeah, that jump is just a pain. Puffer. That thing. Fuck. Probably going to want to hit a save point when we're on our way back. Yeah, that room was a mess. Oh yeah, remember to scan the big freaking energy. Ultra energy stores 100 units. Ow. I thought I was able to make that jump, so that's why I took it in the first place. All right. Clear the area. All right, area is secure. We can go in here. Let's take a quick save. Again, just to restore everything and, you know, just in case something goes wrong, because, as you saw, it could get pretty dicey pretty easily. It's not going to be nearly so bad going through the Chozo Ruins right now, because it's not acid-filled. But still. That would make it even worse if I died, right? Because at that point, it's like, wow, that's super embarrassing. You died in Chozo Ruins when they were on Babby mode. Have you ever played a video game in your entire life? And the answer is no. No, I haven't. And that's the truth of why I'm so bad at them. So I've never played a single video game in my entire life I've been streaming for 43, well, I got a 43-month sub streak on my notifications. So I've been streaming, I've been affiliate for almost 4 years. And then plus whatever amount of time I was streaming before that, which, that's... Oh, Jesus. I've definitely been streaming for, like, 7 years or something. Probably even much longer than that. Because I'm pretty sure that when I blocked that one dude, because he started in on the whole, oh, it was really funny that Count Dankula taught his dog to do the Hitler salute because it upset his girlfriend, which is literally a thing that I had somebody say to me, and that's deeply disgusting on a wide variety of levels. Back when that happened, I'm pretty sure that that's like right after Turnip became president. And so that would have been like 7 years ago. Plus, I had known him for a while and started streaming partially because I knew him. And I didn't know he was that big of a fucking tool bag, by the way. So, there you go. So I've probably been streaming for like 8 years. And in not a single bit of that time have I ever played a single video game. In fact, I'm pretty sure that that's always been someone else the whole time in control. And it's been a little bit messed up. Also, yeah, as you can see, the plated beetle respawns in this area now that we have the boost ball. So if you missed that scan earlier, you can get it back. Oh, hey, and the plated beetle also respawns in here. Interesting. Much easier to kill with the charge beam than it was when we fought it as a boss. I don't know if the charge beam just does that much more damage, or if it's actually weakened by virtue of not being a boss anymore, but whatever the case may be, we want to get the game to let us actually do this. There we go. Yeah, you can tell that that's a room where I'm trying really hard to, like, not just bonk. Because that looks like a place where you can bonk really easily. And that would just annoy me. Oh, bonk. I'm not talking about that bonk. Oh, Hudson Soft, you don't exist anymore. Oh, Hudson Soft, you were named after a river in New York State. And yet you were in Japan. A strange, strange state of affairs. But a long, strange trip it's been. Okay, you. Hey, I can't tell where I'm supposed to go up. I just want you out of the picture so that way I don't get interrupted while I'm doing this. Please go away, beetle. Okay, sure. That's better. Fuck out of my sight, dude. Get that already? Yeah, we got that already. Why am I redoing that? Stupid. Let's get out of here. It hurts. Open this thing. Open this thing. Are there always 3 of those bomb walls? I think there were. I'm just overthinking things now. Carefully. Go real stupid when you fuck that up. Oh, that's quite a jump on you, Samus. Instead, we get to do a double jump. We got the space jump boots. That's right. This is like... I think this is our first real upgrade that we didn't have on the pirate frigate. But yes, it's a double... Well... Oh yeah, the boost ball, pardon me. I forgot about that already. But we got ourselves a double jump, and that is going to help us out tremendously to be able to cross a large part of the environment much more easily. And get all kind of goodies. Unfortunately, no, we can't double spring ball with that. That would make our lives too easy. Back to the Chozo Ruins we go. Now remember, we can't get to the Magmor Caverns elevator through the Sun Chamber. However, there is some stuff we can get over in that direction. And by some stuff, I'm pretty sure I just mean a single item. So, even so, we're gonna go get it. And yeah, I'm fine taking a little bit of damage there. Oh, well, there's me not paying attention. I forgot that those guys spawned up there. Oops. Oh, but I didn't forget about you guys. Alright, up we go. Now this time, we can do that. And we can bomb this open and get ourselves some free missiles. And that's right, we're up to 75 now. Nice. That puts us at more than a quarter of the missiles in the game. Okay, so now we go back to... Yeah, we go back to the Hive Totem route, and we... go in the back area of that, and... yeah, we'll max our health out, because why not? Alright, back to Bagmore. There's some stuff we can get here before we go. Like, honestly, I'm pretty sure that at least some parts of Magmar are pretty much optional to explore. It helps a little bit to do so, but you're probably going to be able to get away with just ignoring most of this area. Which is kind of surprising, but... Speaking of skipping most of the area, we can just skip past that now that we have the space jump. That makes it real easy. But hey, like I said, this is a game that I actually kind of know, so I was going to do the artifact of nature at the earliest convenience. You can skip over the Triclops area like that. Very handy. I want to see if that that pillar is still broken. It sure isn't. Maybe we can get up to that using... Yes, we can! Oh ho ho! Nice! Nice, nice, nice. Don't need the fucking X-ray visor for shit. Until much later in the game where it very much does help quite a bit, actually. Although saying that, I'm quite curious if you could beat certain fights that seemingly require it without it. They're pretty late game fights, so I'd probably get my ass kicked if I tried to goof off like that, but... Might see if that's a possibility. go this way for a moment. Because there's another fairly easily collectible missile pack. Also, yeah, let me see if I can get another angle on that. Yeah, you can see that item down there. We can't get that right now. Which is fine. We wouldn't be able to use it anyway. I just wanted you to see it. Oh, hey, did you choose not to die? Something, dude? Yeah, as you can see, well, first of all, that's real gross when the lava shows up on your visor like that. It ain't great. But also, yeah, the Triclopses will throw you into some very inconvenient and unsafe locations sometimes. But this is where we wanted to end up, is over here. Fuck. I was about to say, now, you can see how much better this controls than the GameCube version. But then I done goofed. And I did it again. Wow, okay. Alright, let's try not being an asshole for once and just take this carefully. But yeah, this definitely is a little bit nicer feeling than it is on the GameCube. Despite my horrendous display there. That was embarrassing. And I failed to jump again, apparently. I forgot to hit the button. You can sort of use these doorways to your advantage a little bit in these fights. Although sometimes it's not always much of an advantage. Sometimes it's a little too hard to get the hits you want. No energy for me this time, Puffer? You're a jerk. Ah, well. Up we go. Collapsible suspension bridge is functional but lacks power. Yeah, so this is the main thing that we end up using the boost ball for most of the time, is to power things using these spinners. You ball up, get inside the dynamo, and you just start doing your boost charge until it spits you back out. In most instances, until it spits you back out. This lets us get across to this area. Seems a little strange for the pirates to build a bridge to nowhere. Pardon me. I don't mean to yawn so much, but it is nearly 2 in the morning. And we go in here and we grab ourselves a Chozo artifact. This is the Artifact of Strength. That's right. We're not even 3 hours in. We got 3 artifacts already, and I'm telling you, we're doing a lot of this way earlier than we're intended to, so these are going to rack up sooner rather than later. And also don't forget that we did have a death earlier, so that slowed us down by a minute or two. Probably more like 5 minutes, but still. Ball up, and... take the elevator, we go back to Phendrana Drifts. And we're going to do one last thing for this session. Although it is going to take a minute, so... don't take that as like, oh, well, you'll be asleep in 2.5 minutes or something. No, 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 no. We got a little bit of work to get done here. Oh, that's what we're talking about. A heal was the big part here. Now, the reason we're back in Phendrana Drifts is because we've got to go to that big ice temple that's over there. Thankfully, it's nowhere near as big as you might think from that sort of a description and my joking about this game being kind of like a Zelda earlier. Well, half joking, I guess. Because legitimately, it kind of is. Ah, yes, good. More of these jerks. If only we can get a way to deal with them sooner rather than later. Ow. And, of course, we pop in here. We got a baby Sheegoth on the floor. That's sub-ideal. That's not the kind of spawn we really want in a place like this, but we can clean it up. And there's the ice parasite. As you can see, it's quite a bit bigger than the regular parasites. Don't forget to double jump in order to scale like anything. I'm kind of curious if that was like the only one that existed here for some reason. There's nothing up on these little areas. Statue's hands seem to be frozen in place. Statue depicting the bust of a Chozar shaman adorns this door. A symbol is carved into the forehead. The translation reads, "To pass my gaze, seek my twin within this room." So, do this, you go and you scan these things. Chozo Architect, Philosopher, Warrior, Flawless, and this last one will be a bust of a Chozo Shaman. Several stress fractures can be seen along the brimstone surface, so we throw a missile at it. Then we pop in. We activate the ball slot, and that opens the gate for us, and we can proceed into the depths of the Ice Temple. Oh, huh. Door turns purple on the other side. That's weird. Oh, what's that? It's the wave beam. Oh, boy. If you're a longtime Metroid vet and you are not completely familiar with this game, you might see that and be like, oh man, that sounds super good. Well, unfortunately, the wave beam in this game is not quite as broken as it is in regular Metroid games in 2D variety. But it's still quite a good bit of equipment here. Still very helpful. And not just for the fact that it can help us open quite a few doors. But this is another room kind of similar to the plated beetle room, where we got to fight a bunch of these enemies and then we fight an upgraded version as sort of a mini boss. Oh, did it actually freeze me with its dying gasp? That's kind of great. I appreciate that on some level. Now, we've scanned these before, right? Yeah. Oh, that shaking means there's something big coming in. That's right. Here it is. Here's a regular Sheegoth, and we can see gross, nasty complexion, lumpy face. What do you got for us? Supreme Predator of the Phendrana Drifts. Sheegoths are invulnerable to most beam weapons. Oh, God. The crystals on their back absorb energy, which they can fire at prey. Have poor stamina. They hyperventilate after using their breath attack, making their mouth area vulnerable. The soft underbelly of a Sheegoth is susceptible to concussive blasts. In battle, they expel gas, blasts of frigid gas to ensnare their targets. They're also fond of ramming and trampling their hapless prey. So, one of the many ways that you can help deal with these dudes is that you can kind of roll under them and drop bombs. It's not necessarily the safest option, but it does do some decent work. And it means that you can hurt them at any time. You don't have to wait for them to discharge an Ice Blast. You can sometimes push the issue a little bit regarding Ice Blast, by the way. I think by spamming bullets at them, and then they'll enter their breathing state. So again, missile canceling is a good friend of yours here if you really want to speed this fight up. And don't forget about bombs. Although, honestly, we could probably just sit here firing a constant stream of missiles into this thing's craw, even when it's attacking us. And we would not run out by the time we killed it. Although, that said, we are dealing with a quite beefy enemy, so I still wouldn't recommend it. Not even if you have the kind of missile capacity that we do. Which is, like, above and beyond the call, really. I want to try to get behind it. Yeah, the bomb method is extremely dangerous. But we did kill it. Quite the hardy enemy. It's unfortunate that they will start showing up in certain areas later on as a replacement for other spawns. However, they become quite a bit easier when you have the plasma beam, because one good charged plasma beam shot in the mouth will destroy them. As you might expect, you know, using a fire move on an ice type like that. You've played Pokemon before, haven't you? And there we go, the Wave Beam. Weapon can open purple doors, and they don't really give you a whole lot of other information about the Wave Beam. Fires powerful electric bolts. That's a very nice thing. Has limited homing capability as well. That's pretty helpful. Won't home in on targets without a lock-on. Charge the Wave Beam to fire a fierce electrical blast. Enemies struck by this blast will be enveloped in electrical energy for a few moments. Yeah, it has a bit of a dot effect with the the fully charged shot. But as you can see, A, it fires a hell of a lot slower. And B, I find that the shots do less damage overall, even if you hit with all 3 particles. Kind of making it a bit of a DPS loss. This is absolutely an exploration tool, first and foremost. And a combat tool basically only when you have to. However, the game is going to show us an opportunity when we might have to right away. By filling this room out with those dudes. Okay, I thought you died, but alright. Sure, just don't get hit by my shots, alright. That's always an option too. Jerk. Oh, excuse me. And so with that done, let's go ahead and save, and that's going to be where we call it for the evening, because boy oh boy, it is late on a Wednesday. Well, Thursday now over here. But yeah.